Hydrangea Heaven is the title of the newest collection from hot off the press, and Teresa has been having a wonderful time. Now, I would have had actual hydrangeas for you, but I'm not sure if you heard, we had a heat dome here in Oregon which fried all of our blossoms. So fortunately, we have paper blossoms. We've got 12 by 12 patterned cardstock, 6 by 6 solid cardstock, chipboard, die cuts, and cutting dies. All of them are together, and Teresa, as I said, has had a great time. We're happy to show you what she's done. Come play with us. Well, I showed you most of the things in the front, but there's just a closer look at the 31 die cuts and the hydrangea cutting die. So let's get into the projects, and I'll bring these back at the appropriate time, and we can get in a bit closer as we're looking at these cards. And let me show you the first one. Now this, Teresa is using our 12 by 12 patterned and solid cardstock, and you can see that wonderful cutting die. But let's start with the card first. This is our regular 5 by 6.5 inch card, and Teresa has used this paper on the front of it. As you can see, it has text all over. And then the smaller piece is this paper, just beautiful. And as you can tell, she used the 12 by 12 on it. She matted the smaller piece on this solid cardstock and created this. And then also this strip. Well, this strip is from this paper, so it's just really interesting to see it in its full form and then to see it in pieces as she has worked with these strips here. Now, the piece right here is out of the cutting die, and let me just show you that. There it is. This is one of the 31, and she did mat it onto the solid cardstock. Now, let's get into the cutting die. So here we have all of the pieces. You'll notice that all of these blossoms are done with one pass through your machine. Now, Teresa did, she used the foam that we have, and this is the flower foam. Now this is really fun and interesting how they package it and how Teresa used it. You get one each of all of those colors, and Teresa used the purple, or the lavender, the light blue, the dark blue. She didn't use the green or the white, so those were extra, and she made 2 passes with each color, and then she put them together. So that's how that works. And she did keep them flat, having the base as this. And this is nice because it gives you the shape of your finished cluster, and that worked nicely. Now, in using the foam, Teresa also brought in an iron. Now, we like this little iron that we carry, and I think it's really interesting that the iron has personality and a little face there. Now, I have this one turned on. I'm just going to bring in a couple of the blossoms, and I do use tweezers because this is warm, and as I put this onto the iron, it's going to curl, and it's also, you can see it's already lifting up. I hope you can see that. Excuse me. It's also going to shrink down a little bit. So just like that. Okay, now you see how that is cupped? Well, it just makes it perfect to then attach it onto your project. Shall I do it one more time just so you can see? Here we have another in the purple. I'm just putting it into the tweezers. I'm going to set it on there, and it's just going to lift. Okay, hoping you can see that. And then when it's done lifting, I'm just going to pull it off. And there we have it. Now, if you wanted to do some other things, you could do some sculpting at this point. Probably that's better to do if you have larger blossoms. In these hydrangeas, that cupping is just perfect, and as you can see. So Teresa used all of those colors to put them onto her card. Now, she also used the stems and leaves cutting die. It's this one. also done by Deanna Pinnell, who did the hydrangea. And this is just really meant to be useful for lots of different projects. So she used the curved stem and of course just trimmed it off. She used this leaf, and in this case she used paper rather than the foam. That was her choice. And so that just worked out nicely. Now she also added to the inside of the blossoms the Sparklets. These are from Hunky Dory. She used the blue and the purple. You can see the blue has a variety of blues and teals. The purple is purple, and simply placed them in the center. She used the smallest ones, as you can see. A bow from our purple ribbon collection. In fact, that purple ribbon collection is used on most of the projects in today's webisode, so that's good to know. Okay, so that is our card front. I'm going to turn my iron off and set it aside. And then let's get into the center of our card, and here we go. This is using this paper, and it's actually the back side of it. I think yeah, there we go. Here we go. Just right here, you can see how that layers. Now, this has got a lot of color in it, but it's not overwhelming on the inside at all. And you see how she used two of the cutouts. Now, here are the cutouts. The happy birthday, we generally include a happy birthday. She's matted it onto the solid cardstock. Wish you the best, that comes from the die cuts, as you can see. And she just added a few little blossoms and more of those sparklets on the inside. So very pretty pink on the outside with bursts of purple and teal. Really lavender on the inside. Just really, really nice. Okay, well that's our first card. Now here we go, there's more. Now this is using the 6x6 pattern cardstock. Now I looked at that and I thought, okay, well that's a cute card. And then I realized as I started messing with it that this is a gatefold, but it's a gatefold with a surprise. Look at that, how nice. You can see the front is done in 3 sections. So what Teresa did is she started first with her 5x6.5 inch card, which comes, and then she laid it flat and brought the ends to the center where they met. Used the bone folder to press that down, and that became the basis for her card. Now, she also used the solid cardstock, and in the gallery down below you're going to find all the measurements. So she did this as one piece, and then she cut it in half and put 1/2 on each side of the gatefold. Notice, you can probably see it a little better here, that that purple goes all the way to that cut line, okay? So we just see white on the outside, and Teresa really likes using the card to be a mat on her projects. It just saves a step. This is the solid cardstock that she used. It's the lighter purple out of the collection, and that worked nicely. Now she chose to use, as I said, the 6x6 paper, and even at 6x6 she cut them down. So this top piece is from this sheet, the middle piece is from this sheet. In fact, she used this area, and the bottom part she used this sheet. In fact, you just saw that a minute ago. Okay, so she cut each of those down, did the same thing, then trimmed them in half and glued 1/2 to each side. Same idea, they match up with the edge of the card, okay? Now, then she put the die cuts. So the die cuts, and her tip is this: do everything by first placing the papers in the middle and then do the top and the bottom. Same way with the die cuts, do the one in the center, then the top and the bottom. And that way everything is going to be spaced exactly as you want it. So always be kind is right here. You just pop it out, very easy. It's foam tape. The trick is just attach it to the right side. These two, only attach them to the left side, and that's going to work perfectly. Shine Bright is right here, and then Choose Happy, I guess that's back here, right there. So again, all the artwork coordinates and is perfectly designed to work together. And as I said, all of the bows are coming out of that purple ribbon assortment, so that's true here. And then Teresa has also used the looks like the purple collection here that she used in the first one, so that's just going to give you some double duty. Now on the inside, same cardstock, but here is the paper that she used, and she just used a part of it, so you're going to have this piece left. And since you get 4 of each one, you're going to have more left. But oh, so pretty. And doesn't that do a nice job of holding more of those die cuts? And just a couple of blossoms from the hydrangeas and more of those sparkles to go on the inside. So that's a fun take on a gatefold card, and I so appreciate the woman's talent. Okay, let's go on. Here is another card. Now this is using the 12 by 12. So we've seen the 12 by 12 pattern, we've seen the 6 by 6, we're back to the 12 by 12 again. And look at this. Now as you can tell, this is using the chipboard. Now the chipboard has 10 pieces in it. And what Teresa has done is, I'm sure that you can see, she has heat embossed it. Now that's how you're going to get that really super shine. And she simply took a watermark ink pad, Versamark, the Wow has one, as well as Crafter's Companion. So put that down and then put our gold embossing powder on top, heat it with a heat gun, and she did it on the wreath and 2 of the butterflies for the front of her card. So that works really nicely. So she's got this one and this solid one, okay? Now, the Hello Friend, that's from the die cuts. But something I should tell you to begin with, you know, I get so excited going inside and wanting to share the card with you that sometimes, or the embellishments, I sometimes forget about the card structure. So let me just back up a moment. So Teresa began with her card, her 5 by 6.5 inch card. She cut off 2.5 inches off just the opening edge. So basically she cut it in half, and that gave her the basis. Now she used the papers, and let me just show you which ones she used. For the beginning there, she used this. Let's see. There we go. Well, here we go. Okay, so those, there we go. Okay, so right here, so with the text, you know what? So with the text is going right there. And then on the inside, I'm not going to go there quite yet. I want to finish up right here because there are a couple other things going on. This, of course, are circles. And the circles are done with the solid cardstock using our 12 circle and scallop dies. These are nested. There's 12 of them. They go from 1 inch to 5 7/8. She's used medium size here. So on the dark purple and the lighter purple. So that's worked nicely. Now the other thing I wanted to point out is this is foam taped only to the left side because this is going to open, okay? And the other thing that she added to the center of those flowers is our old friend, the gold jewel Dazzles. Now, I know that's pretty dramatic. There are 540 Dazzles on this sheet, and they're in 3 different sizes. And you can see she used kind of a large one here and small ones in the center of that chipboard. And so that's really just a nice touch to have that so sparkly. And as you can see, it does a nice job. The the embossing powder is shiny, but this has sparkles in it, so it's even shinier. Now, this card has a surprise inside, so we open it and then open it again, and there's a card within the card. So that's interesting. And of course, because this is a double-sided paper, this is what Teresa used. So she used this sheet, but she did not use these hydrangeas. She used this piece. And then on the inside of her card, well, you can see she's got this. So that's going to work just really, really nicely, okay? So she has this over to here, and then on the back side, she's showing the this piece, okay? So it just works beautifully. Same circles are cut right here. Friends are the family we choose. That's a foam tape die cut. Another of the single petals was heat embossed. And then on the inside, again, this is one of the cutouts. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. I'm sure you've heard that before. She did double mat this and then added more. So friendship is one of the pieces of the chipboard, and the same technique is used on all of the chipboard, as you can see. But I think that card within a card is just so easy to do and such a beautiful look. Isn't that nice? Okay, I like how that also covers up, so you kind of really get a surprise as you open it. At least that's how it has seemed to me. Okay, we have one more, and this is also going to use our cutting die, as you can see. And this also has a surprise. So what Teresa has done here is, as I open this up, are you getting all of that? Isn't that pretty? So this becomes an easel card. You can see how it's set there. But wait, there is another easel inside. And so it becomes a double easel, just like that. And yet, this is quite easy to do. Okay, so I'm gonna set that one down and we'll focus on this one. Okay, now what Teresa did is she first started with a 5x5 card. So she took our 5x6.5 card and cut it to 5x5. And then she used the bone folder to score the front horizontally, as you can see, because this is going to be our first easel. Okay, now she did use the 6x6 papers to create this, and in the first one, she has cut a piece of the solid cardstock that is going to become the easel, okay? So this is the sheet that she used, and it doesn't take all of it, so you'll see the measurements down below. She matted it on the solid and used the pink solid cardstock for her mat, okay? Now this is going to get, have a few things done to it. Now, she's going back to that cutting die with the stems and leaves, and that is going to create, again, the curved and the leaves. She did use the bone folder, which I have lost on my table, but the bone folder to just kind of curve those petals. Now, in doing the flowers, the blossoms, she did use the solid, and she did 2 each of the pink, the lavender, and the purple, as you can see. So she just curved them, also using the bone folder. And then she used, in this case, she used the gold jewel dazzles, but this time she used the silver. So gold and silver will work. And that just worked very, very nicely, okay? Now, this is one of the die cuts on top of it, she used the Happy Every Holiday Dazzles. Now, this has got, let me see, 10 sheets in it, so 10 different colors, but there's a whole bunch of happies on the front of it, and then there's every occasion except for Christmas. So St. Patrick's Day, Valentine's, Easter, New Year, Thanksgiving, Halloween, Independence Day, Easter, New Year, I guess you get 2 New Years. That's right, you get 2 of each, Halloween, Independence, St. Patrick's, and you get little icons and thank you for your service if you want to send a card for that, which is nice. I don't think there's anything on the market for thank you for your service. But she used the happy in silver right there and foam taped that in place. Now, this whole piece is going to be attached at just the bottom part of the easel, just like you're accustomed to doing. And for that, she used the extra sticky tape, just because this is going to be moving and she wants to make sure it's solid. So the extra sticky tape is with the orange liner. She put 2 strips and then attached it down, allowing, this is the easel front as you can see, allowing the card to become the border. So that's nice. Now, I didn't really see this when I was kind of manipulating the card, but I did a little bit later, and I thought it was nice that Teresa finished this part. Now for this, she used this 6x6 paper, and again just trimmed it down so that the card is the mat. So that's all set. So then, going inside our card, so she used this paper. I hope this helps you to see the paper. Sometimes when I get the cards, I kind of search a little bit to figure out which area of which paper she used. And as you can see, this is the one. So it's right there. Then she used a piece of the solid cardstock to make a piece that goes on the inside. Now this is going to measure 6.5 by 3.5. Then you're going to want to score it in the middle, and then also score one part of it in the center. Again, you want to create that easel, okay? Now this also is going to have the extra sticky tape, but this time in 3 sections, and this is on the non-scored side. That way it's going to hold it, because this is going to get tugged, so you want to make sure it's really solid on there. Now, Teresa did the same thing, is that she cut another piece that's going to be the easel part, and that was cut out of this 6x6. I think that's one of my favorite patterns. I think it's so pretty. And she placed some of the die cuts as well as cutouts on top. I like that going sideways. Again, the purple ribbon is used there. And then on the inside of this, there is another piece of the pattern paper, and then also of the die cuts right there. So this is foam taped up to hold this. She did also put that same paper right here. So she did always cover her back, so that's kind of nice. So that's there, and then this one is going to tuck right there. And what I like about what things Teresa did, and she does it so often, but everything is a surprise, and I think that's really fun. So from this card and another card using Hydrangea. Now this is a different way to make a card. In fact, there's the card base is actually the cardstock. Teresa did tell me that she really loved the pattern cardstock. She says they're light enough to crease easily, yet sturdy enough to hold the creases and the embellishments without being wimpy. So no wimpy cardstock is here. Okay, as I open this, you're going to see some pockets. Now this construction was done out of one sheet of the double-sided pattern cardstock. So let me show you what Teresa did. In fact, here it is all folded up. There are those two. And let me unfold this and show you what she did. Okay, so she started with we've got the 12 by 12, so she cut it to be 10 by 12. Then she folded it in half horizontally, use the bone folder, and then folded it in half again, use the bone folder, okay? Then as it's sitting like this, she used the scissors to cut along the score line right here, but only to that center area, okay? So 10 by 12, fold it in half vertically, horizontally, unfold it, vertically, unfold, and cut, okay? Now I'm going to turn it over. Now, to make the pockets, we're going to measure up from the bottom right-hand corner up 5 inches. From that mark to right here, you're going to do a score line. Then Teresa likes the double-sided tape that we have, and this is going to be folded in and attached, okay? Now, over here, you're going to measure from the opposite corner, 3 inches down, 3 inches over, score, and then fold that in, attach it in, same thing with the double-sided. Now what happens is that this is going to go over, okay? Then this one is going to go up, and then this becomes the front of the card. Now, you'll notice that there's some tape here and some tape here, okay? Those are extensions of the tape that was at the corners. So you're going to hold this down. In fact, why don't I just do that? Just so that it is done. Okay, so then this one, we're going to take that tape, remove it, remove the liner, and pull it over. The same one down here, there's a little guy right there. Pull him and bring him up. Then you've got your 2 pockets. Then the front is right here. Neato, absolutely neato. You're going to want to remember that. Very, very fun. You can use it with any 12 by 12. Now what Teresa has done is she wanted silver to accent this. So she used our metallic silver. This is paper, so it is not cardstock. We do have silver cardstock, but this is the paper. And she matted a strip of another paper right there. This is the die cut. It's been matted on 2 of the solids and the silver. Again, that purple ribbon set is being used here. Now on the inside of her card, again, because it's double-sided, you're going to have good use of this. And what she did is to place the die cuts, added some of the ribbon, bloom where you are planted, enjoy the little things, smile you are loved has a little ribbon wrapped around it. It too has been matted on the silver. To add more of the silver on the inside, she went with our silver border dazzles. There are 31 borders on this sheet, and just placed 2 right along the edges of the pockets. Now if you want the pockets to be shorter, if you should need that, you can just have the glue up higher. So it's your choice. So it just works really nicely. Very simple to do, very easy to do, and quite beautiful to do. Now let's recap. The new Hydrangea Heaven collection from hot off the press, and everything is coordinated, and best of all, everything is in stock. And also, best of all, there's a money saver over on the right side of your screen. So take a look, save some money. You can buy it all, or you can buy pieces. Down below, as I mentioned before, there is the gallery with all of the instructions that Teresa has done. And I so appreciate her helpful hints. And I think you're going to love using all of these products and having a wonderful time until we get to see more hydrangeas a little bit later in the season. Thank you for joining us, and as always, for being the very best part of paperwishes.com. If you're watching us on YouTube, head on over, take advantage of the Money Saver, and I hope you'll sign up to get our emails, because that's how we can tell you about new things, and there are so many exclusive things that are here. We'd love to have you with us. See you next time.